Hi, back again with problem number 4. In this one, we are factoring the expression 12x squared plus 13x minus 4. The problem with this expression is that we now have an a coefficient. A doesn't equal 1. And we have a c coefficient. C doesn't equal 1 or 0 to make the problem a little bit simpler. What we're going to do to solve this expression is we're going to use what's called the AC method. The first thing we want to do is check to see if there are any common factors amongst the 12, the 13, and the negative 4. Unfortunately, that 13 is a prime number, which means only 1 and itself, 13, multiplied to equal it. And because of that, none of the other numbers are multiples of 13, which means if you multiply 13 times 2 times 3 times 4, you can't break down the 13 in any way and get it smaller. So what we need to do is we're going to use this AC method by multiplying the A number, A term, 12, times the C term, negative 4. 12 times negative 4 equals negative 48. Okay, so we put that negative 48 right here. And then we're going to list all the factors of 48, okay? Now, since the 13 is a positive, when we add the two terms together, we want to get a number bigger than 0. Therefore, the bigger number of the two factors should always be positive. We don't need to list all the pairs. So we're going to have negative 1 times 48, negative 2 times 24, negative 3 times 16, and negative 4 times 12, and negative 6 times 8. Those are all the factors of 48 where the larger number is positive. Okay? Everybody see that? Good. Now we add them together. Negative 1 plus 48 is 47. Negative 2 plus 24 is 22. Negative 3 plus 16 is 13. Negative 4 plus 12 is 8. And negative 6 plus 8 is 2. When we look at our original expression, we want the sum of those two terms to equal positive 13. When we look down our list, the middle one, negative 3 times 16, adds up to be 13. So since negative 3 plus 16 equals 13, that equals our B term. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that B term with negative 3x and plus 16x. So we wind up with 12x squared minus 3x plus 16x minus 4. Then we factor by grouping, which means we factor the first two terms and then the second two terms separately, okay? And what's going to happen is we're going to end up with a common factor amongst each of them. They will each factor out into the exact same number because we set it up that way. When we factor out the 12x squared minus 3x, both 12x squared and negative 3x have a factor of negative 3x, okay? Negative 3x evenly goes into 12x squared, and it goes into negative 3x. So we pull that 3x to the front, and what's left is 12x squared divided, 12 divided by 3 is 4, x squared divided by x is x. So 12x squared divided by 3x is 4x. And negative 3x divided by 3x is negative 1, okay? Now we're going to factor 16x minus 4. 16x and 4, negative 4, both have a common factor of 4. 16x divided by 4 is just 4x. And negative 4 divided by 4 is just negative 1. Now you see, look at this factor. 4x minus 1, 4x minus 1. That's the same. We can group the two coefficients into one parentheses and just keep that 4x minus 1 in the second. So our coefficients are 3x and positive 4. So our parenthesis is 3x plus 4, 3x plus 4, and the term that was in both, 4x minus 1, 4x minus 1. So our originally factored 12x squared plus 13x minus 4 equals 3x plus 4 times 4x minus 1. I'll be back with the final problem in a second.